today. Wow. What's up? We got new lights in here or something?
Maybe a little brighter. Oh, I think we're replacing.
A little brighter. I can't even see.
Can you see us?
No, I can't see you.
We'll address that.
So that would be a reason that no one would take anything I said personal, right? I can't see you. Well, guys, impressions of the first scrimmage. I think when you have a first scrimmage, this is our 12th or 13th practice, really basically without a day off and with some couple two-a-days thrown in there. So you got a tired team. You got a lot of guys learning a lot of new things. And if I was going to give an overall assessment, I'd say the first teams executed fairly well. And then I think that after that, we have a lot of guys that really need to work hard on having a better feeling about the expectation of the kind of effort, the kind of toughness, the kind of responsibility you have to actually know how to do your job on a consistent basis and do it enough that you have confidence in what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, the way it needs to get done so you have the best chance to be successful. And so we're a work in progress, when it comes to that. We're going to watch this film, and we'll see a lot of things that we need to improve on. And I think the good news is this is an indication of where we are. Give us a much better barometer of things we need to improve on to get better. Each guy individually, as well as each unit, as well as our team. So, we had some guys that did really, really well out there today. I can't say the early rain probably made it a little more difficult for the quarterbacks. The balls got wet, probably affected their passing a little bit, but I think when it cleared back up, we were a lot more effective. We got to be able to run the ball with a little more consistency. We had probably too many penalties out there the first time. We had a full crew of officials, which is a good thing that we can learn from. So, what we need to do is get the good players playing really, really well. We got to get the younger players and the backup players to play with a lot more consistency so they can develop a role on this team so that we have more guys that can go in there and contribute and play winning football. That's the key to the drill. And right now we probably don't have enough guys that fit in that category, but we certainly feel like we've got some guys that are capable. We just got to do a good job of trying to develop them and getting where they need to be by the first game.
We'll start over here with Cecil.
Coach, I realize not scrimmage in a situation where somebody takes control of the team, as you said, back, but could you evaluate a little each guy also?
Yeah, we had a plan today where each guy there's three guys basically. David Cornwell, who's been nursing a foot, is a little bit on and off in terms of his ability to get out there and compete, so he was limited in the reps that he got today. But the other three guys all had an equal opportunity with each group, actually. So I think it sort of gives us a good idea of who might be most ready to manage the team, but I think that decision is far from getting made. Just my feeling based on watching the scrimmage today on the field. But, I always like to watch the film and sort of get a better feeling for how many balls got dropped and did they throw it the right place all the time, and how did they execute? What was their decision making? How did they manage the team? What was their leadership like? How did the team function when they were in there? I think when we watch the film, we get a little better feel for that.
In the middle here with Matt.
Nick, as far as the quarterbacks, how has Jalen continued to come along, and what are your early impressions of how he did today?
Yeah. Jalen is a very talented guy, and I thought he did some really good things out there today. I think he does really good things each and every day. I think the key for both younger guys is consistency in performance, taking care of the ball, and taking what the defense gives and being satisfied with that. I think that all three guys have done a good job of not looking over their shoulder in terms of what the other guy's doing, but trying to focus on what they need to do to improve and get better. We're encouraged by the progress. We're not satisfied with where we are, but we certainly are hopeful that we can get all three of these guys really to play well enough for us to give us the best chance to win.
Front middle with Mark.
Just from an injury standpoint, did you make it out of the scrimmage with everybody healthy, or was anybody nicked up or anything like that?
The only thing is Dalvin Tomlinson twisted his ankle a little bit. He'll probably be out for a few days. It's hard to tell about those things, at first look. But I think we got a couple other guys that, Deshaun Hand didn't scrimmage today, but I think he'll be okay probably by Monday. A couple other guys got a little bit. We got a couple guys got little light concussions. We'll go through concussion protocol with them, but I'm not sure that any of them are really, really serious. But we're going to take every precaution before they get back, and hopefully that won't be long.
In the middle turn.
Coach, you mentioned you get to see in the scrimmages the decision-making with the quarterbacks. Were you able to see that decision-making, and what was your opinion of that?
Yeah, I think that, all three guys did some really good things. I think all three guys would sit and tell you, if you asked them that question, that there was things that they could have done better, and there were also decisions that they made that they'd like to have back. The key to the drill is how can we minimize those, because when I talk about playing winning football and taking care of the football, that's part of it, especially at the quarterback position where you're distributing the ball every play. So I actually think that there wasn't a whole lot of poor decisions made that I would say, wow, that's really, really bad. But I think that the consistency and efficiency would have been a little better at times if we'd have made better choices.
Front with Alex.
You mentioned some penalties that are an issue. What was your assessment of the offensive line, especially on the right side where you have a freshman at tackle and a first-time starter potentially at right guard?
Well, it's really hard for me, to tell you, especially how the linemen played, watching the scrimmage, because you guys kind of know me. I'm a DB, wide receiver, quarterback kind of guy. All right, so I'm kind of watching guys run routes, and I'm watching guys play coverages, and I'm looking at where the quarterback should throw the ball. So I don't always get a great feel until I watch the film, especially for the interior line play. I can't honestly, give you that assessment. I can say that from practice, Jonah Williams has done a really, really good job. He's gotten a little bigger. He's gotten a little stronger. He's smart. He's confident. Bozeman and Shank both have played at right guard, and we've also looked at other combinations of players, in these various positions. So I'm pleased with the progress, not satisfied, but certainly think that it's a better, more healthy, more depth situation than we had a year ago.
In front with Ken.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the defensive line. I know you've talked about looking for some depth there. What did you see today, and what have you seen from that position?
Well, I think the fact that Deshaun Hand was out, because we feel really good about the three of the defensive ends, Jonathan Allen, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Deshaun Hand. They've all played here before. They've all been productive players, but it's past that. Dakota Ball has shown some progress. This is the natural position that he played. We moved him to tight end a year ago because we had depth problems there, and I think he can help us some. Then I think there's the three new guys that came in, we're working with, and they're making significant improvement. And I think probably after the next scrimmage, we'll have to decide, okay, which one of these guys are we going to invest our time in? But it's difficult for me, again, to assess that today. I think Josh Frazier has made some improvement. He's played some nose and some 5 technique. And O.J. Smith has made some improvement at the nose guard position. So, you know, there are guys making improvement. I think that is an area where we really, really need to get some of these young guys to improve.
Last one here with Mike.
Just with running backs, B.J. Emmons, his first scrimmage, how did he look, and how did that group look overall today?
Well, I think Bo looked good early, got a little dinged, so, you know, he didn't practice as much or have as many carries probably. The young guys, I think all did a pretty decent job. I think that we're very encouraged by what they've been able to do daily in practice, and I feel like those guys can certainly be contributors for us. And BJ is a very naturally instinctive guy and really works hard. He's got a lot to learn, but he is working hard at it and has done a really good job so far. So, you know, Damian Harris, I think, has done a pretty good job so far. So we just got to keep working those guys, and I think they're all going to make a contribution to the team this year.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.